and the unity of Somalia. We have no problem with that. We support the territorial integrity of Somalia, but what is Somalia? That is the point to be answered, you see. We have never been citizens of a country called Somalia. Somalia, the name Somalia comes from the Italian syntax. It used to be called, Somalia Italiana. After the war in 1950, when the country became under the United Nations trusteeship, Italia was dropped and it became simply Somalia. We were Somaliland. They were Italian Somaliland, we were British Somaliland and Texas. We united in 1960 and we have formed what was called...
The road to independence for Somaliland did not begin in London. It was shaped by decades of colonial rule, rising political awareness, and a growing demand for self-determination. Under British administration since the late 19th century, Somaliland developed its own political identity, institutions, and leadership class. By the late 1950s, as the global wave of decolonization swept across Africa, the call for independence became impossible to ignore. Political parties formed, civic movements grew stronger, and the people of Somaliland increasingly demanded control over their own future. At the center of this historic turning point were four influential leaders who would carry Somaliland's case to the heart of the British government. In early 1960, a delegation traveled to London to negotiate directly with the British Foreign Office. The delegation was led by Mohammed Haji Ibrahim Egal, then Minister of Local Government and Head of Government Services. He was joined by Ahmed Haji Duale Keys, Minister of Natural Resources, Ali Garad Jama, Minister of Public Works and Communications, and Haji Ibrahim Noor, Minister of Social Services. These four men were not just government officials, they were representatives of Somaliland's most powerful political forces. Egal and Keys belonged to the Somali National League, while Ali Garad Jama and Haji Ibrahim Noor represented the Somali Unity Party. Although these parties had their differences, they formed a coalition at a critical moment in history. Their unity sent a strong message. Somaliland was politically mature, organized, and ready for independence. The negotiations in London lasted 10 days and were marked by careful diplomacy and strategic thinking. The Somaliland delegation presented a clear and unified demand: full independence, not gradual transition. They emphasized their administrative readiness, political stability, and the will of the people.
Berbera, that small, scattered township which serves as the capital and port of British Somaliland.
On May 12, 1960, their efforts paid off. An agreement was signed between Mohammed Haji Ibrahim Egal and Ian MacLeod, confirming that Somaliland would become independent on June 26, 1960. The decision to negotiate rather than confront was deliberate and strategic. At a time when many independence movements across Africa were marked by conflict, Somaliland's leaders chose diplomacy. They understood the global political climate and used it to their advantage. By presenting a united front and engaging the British government through formal channels, they secured independence peacefully and efficiently. Among the four, Mohammed Haji Ibrahim Egal would go on to leave the deepest mark on Somaliland's political history. Born in 1929, Egal quickly rose through the ranks to become Secretary General of the Somali National League and a member of the first elected parliament in 1960. After independence, he played a major role in the politics of the Somali Republic, serving as Prime Minister in 1967. Yet Somali National League's most enduring contribution came later. Following the collapse of the Somali central government in 1991, he emerged once again as a key leader. In 1993, he became the second president of Somaliland and led efforts to rebuild institutions, stabilize the region, and establish a functioning government. Re-elected in 1997, he remained in office until his death in 2002, widely respected as a founding figure of modern Somaliland. The story of these four men is more than a historical moment. It is a lesson in leadership, unity, and vision. Their successful negotiation in London did not happen by chance. It was the result of preparation, cooperation, and a clear understanding of their people's aspirations. Through diplomacy and determination, they secured Somaliland's place in history and set an example of peaceful transition that still resonates today. If you found this story insightful, don't forget to subscribe to AfriNews 24 for more in-depth African history, politics, and untold stories.